What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I was taking a look over the weekend at some of the short squeeze plays. We all have a little bit of degen in us. We don't really care much about the company. We just like to look at what are potentials. So I was looking at some companies with high short interest and small floats. Something that, is pretty heavily shorted for what it is. I don't know anything about these companies. I will just tell you that right up front. I also do not have a position in any of these companies at the moment. I was just doing a little bit of research on them and thought I would just throw it out there. Want to see what's kind of going in the right direction, what might look like it could have potential to possibly squeeze, see float size, and Ortex will check that out, see if it looks like anything that you guys are interested in. But if so, I will get right into the information. As always, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. It's just for entertainment purposes only, so let's be entertained. All right, so 3 or 4 tickers. The first ticker I was looking at is ADTX. ADTX, 100... No, what do we got? 1.09 million for the free float as far as ADTX goes. And I think we got about 67 to 74% of the free float shorted. We'll pull up the Ortex in just a moment. Looking at the charts, it does appear that it is trending in a decent direction. And what I think is interesting about this one is we kind of see our volume shelf right here. If it gets above, I think this here shelf around 420, let's call it 420. That's a fun number. I think if it could get above that 420, that's almost a beeline run, in my opinion, up into that $8 range. Now, it does look like it may have split back here on September 13th. Yeah, 1 for 50 split. So be cautious with all of these. Tight stop losses are a must if you are going to play them. I'd really check in and see what's going on. But overall, the RSI is kind of hit or miss right now. It's sitting right at that even zone where it's either going to turn and work its way up, or it is going to fall short and fall out of this channel. But whenever we're in a market where everything just seems to be getting hammered down, what could possibly go up? Well, it could be a short squeeze play where the shorts are actually going to cover, not nothing diamond handing. We're not diamond handing on this channel. It's just about making a few bucks. So like I said, tight stop losses. Look at your entries, see if it makes sense to you. You can do some due diligence on the companies if you care about the company. I don't care about the company. We are strictly talking float, shorts, and position it's headed. So according to the Ortex, live short interest percent of the free float, 74.23%. Live short interest, 1.45 million. Cost to borrow is not all that high as far as I can tell, but that's a significant amount of shorts for that size of float. 1.09 million float, ADTX. What can we look at next? Let's look at PXMD. PXMD. This one has a 299.98 thousand float. So kind of looking at it, I don't know, again, anything about the company, what direction it's going to go, what it's going to do. But as you can see, we are probably going to come out of, we're either going to get rejected heavily or it's going to continue in this channel. It is right down here where the volume's not so high. We can't really get a good read on it, but if it does make its break up, we get a significant amount of volume that's going to come in here. So kind of keeping an eye on PXMD, which direction it's going to go. Is it going to head up or is it going to get rejected? That's the big question. Let's look at the Ortex and see what we got as far as the short interest go on there. PEX Media. Shorts, we'll do live short interest. Live short interest is estimated at 31%, 351.47 thousand. What do we got as far as the reported goes? So as far as reported goes, it looks like we have 30.22 estimated short percent of the free float. Utilization's saying it's not maxed out, but the cost to borrow is sitting around 250%. So kind of like to see the higher cost to borrows. And with ADTX, there are options that are available. So what are we looking for in short squeeze plays? Well, whenever the options chain comes into play, we know that they can play with those whenever the market makers want to, say, release a new strike, or they change them from monthlies to weeklies, or they want to hide some of this into the options chain. So ADTX, I like the short interest that's on it overall. I just don't know that I like that there are options. Now, PXMD, I didn't see options available on PXMD. The next one that I wanted to look at was KPRX. Now, KPRX, they did also do a split back here just a few days ago, 1 for 40. So this is a little bit new. Could it be driven down some more? Sure, it could. I would watch the very near immediate future on this one, see if it's going to get driven out of this flag, or if it's going to find its strength and move its way to the upside. I kind of like this one. Now, I don't know if some of the numbers might be skewed or how this is working out, but the last report I saw said 19 days to cover. Now, if they did split, that would change up the float a little bit. I think we have an 810,000 float on this one. The shorts, as far as that goes, is crazy, right? Crazy. Okay, so what do we got as far as the overview? 234% of the free float on loan. Cost to borrow is not high enough to really reflect that kind of free float on loan. The official report is saying that it's a little bit lower than that, 21.78. We don't really know who's accurate, who's not, but if we look at the live short interest on this one on Ortex, 606.21%. So could that be a little skewed because of the split? Yeah, I think it could, but I don't know. Would we take 1/40th of this and try to come out with the accurate number? I couldn't tell you exactly, but I would keep an eye on that one just to see. Let's see if it falls out of here. Add it to the watch list. Like I said, I don't have a position in any of these. They're just kind of on my radar right now, and I'm looking to see what it wants to do. Now, ATXI, I think a lot of you guys might be in this one already, and I do thoroughly believe that this one is going through a short squeeze, so to speak, like a legit short squeeze. Somebody was in talking to me on the live stream, and we were saying watch this level, and it bounced, and it got a massive bounce. So congratulations to you. That was a nice run. I'm really watching this one to see what it can do, because I know it sounds crazy, but if it wants to, I can see this one up here in this range. I mean, it sounds so stupid, but this ATXI, small float, 685,000, heavily shorted. What's been returned, what's not? We know the float has traded many times over in a day, and somebody asked me, how can that happen? So I was going to actually do a separate video on how the float can actually trade many times over, but if we think about what the shorts are doing, obviously if they are in a panic, or if they want to try to cover some, they're buying, right? They're buying that short back so that they have it in their possession again, and then they're reshorting, so they could be borrowing more on top of that. We know that the market maker really does not locate the shares, so to speak, right? They're just there to provide a transaction. They provide the liquidity. They're like, sure, no matter, it doesn't matter to us. We'll just FTD them later. So could your shorts be getting in and out and in and out and in and out and trying to control this thing? I wasn't watching it, so I don't know if it halted. But if it halted, that's a good shot for the shorts, that if they're going to just unload and dump a ton of shares on it to get it down, and then perhaps they see it getting fought back up against them, they're buying back in just to protect themselves, because they're trying to find the top, like you guys will whenever you're wanting to make your exit. But they're buying back, they're selling, they're buying back, they're selling, they're trying their best to keep everything under wraps. So it's going to just be high frequency back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and that's how your float will be traded over and over and over and over. And that's why I say in all of these short squeeze plays, nobody cares about your shares. They don't need your shares. We've seen it so many times over. You can see your float, no matter what size your free float is, it'll be traded 4, 10, 20, 80 times over. No short cares about your shares. No market maker cares about your shares. It's your account. It's your money. You do what you do. They will figure it out. So they'll FTD, and then they will cover those in the shorts, or they will do whatever they have to do to make that work. So we just have some really high frequency going on here, and I truly believe that ATXI will drive up until the community stops buying. It's the diamond hands, you can diamond hand it, great. You got in down here, awesome. You are making a killing, and then you just want to sit back and watch and have fun and wait till it maxes out, great. There's no sense in you risking any more money. But it's going to be the FOMO that are buying right now, that are chasing. It'll be the shorts that are covering and trying to balance this thing out, that are running it up as well. It'll be those that have a really good average, and they're still being greedy and wanting more. It's going to run until the buying pressure dies off. So whether that be the short buying pressure dies off, or the new interest in the play dies off, but one way or the other, you're going to run until that happens. And I would be watching for, it's trending pretty decent. You can kind of see what's going on. So I'd be watching for a pullback, in all honesty, if you're in this one, as far as say it wants to bounce at the 713 or the 806. If you still have the interest in here that's going, I'd be watching for that pullback. Obviously, you're going to have that heavy selling pressure. The shorts are trying to keep this one under control, but your RSI is pretty good as far as I can tell. So far, so good. As long as you see this continuing to make higher lows and higher highs, well, I think the play will continue, but I'd be careful. Watch your levels. Draw your chart up once you see it fall out, or once you see your fib lines not being respected. You got a pretty good idea that people are kind of taking their money and running, and you don't want to be the one holding the bag. I don't know where the top is. Like I said, the top could be insanely high if there is a bunch of people that just want to keep running and running and running with this thing. But how many people are going to continue to throw their money into ATXI? What do you know about the company? Do you want it long term? Is it something that you want to do? But a very nice, very, very nice volume shelf that you could crack above, realistically, around $11.60 to 75 cents. You get above that, and I think it's going to be nuts in ATX. I don't have a position. I am not going to create a position right here. I'm just going to watch and see how this all shakes out. And if you're in it, I hope you're making money. I hope you're making a lot of money. Set your stop loss. Do not be a bag holder. Do not let it go against you. But congratulations to all of you. Thank you guys for coming back and watching another one. Like I said, I don't know anything about the companies that we went over, but if you're wanting to defy the odds as far as a market that is just trending down and down, lower lows, then you're looking for these short squeezes. You're looking for something with a community. So you can go out and check all your favorite Reddits, YouTubes, whatever you want to do. See who's talking about what. Go in, read the comments, what they think about it, who's interested, who's not. how much action you think you're going to get in any one of these specific plays, and from there, use your judgment. Use your stop losses. Do not bag hold any of these. They could all be garbage companies and the shorts could be right. But if you have that community, that's all that matters. All right, guys, enjoy the weekend. Thanks for coming back. I will catch you in the next one. As always, stay golden, people, and may your accounts stay green.